Thank you for joining me. Asia. It is July 11th, 2026. A dangerous situation setting up. This is going to be the strongest storm on Earth. Maybe the strongest storm we've had this year. Could be stronger than Sinlaku as it makes its way right toward the Mariana Islands. We're looking at the potential of some high impacts, incredibly high impacts in at least a couple of the islands, but anywhere from Guam, Rota, Tinian, Saipan, we are now making those preparations. This is going to move into at least a couple of our islands with winds of 250 kilometers an hour or higher, or 155 miles per hour or higher. At least the gusts are going to be higher than that. And you can see two systems here. This is newly formed tropical depression, Tropical Storm 9. This is the big one that is going to become a super typhoon as it approaches the Mariana Islands. Rapid intensification is likely. Thank you for getting the word out. Again, this hasn't even fully formed yet, so please get the information out. We're going into action mode. We'll get into that in a second. And then over here, we'll have some tropical storm impacts that will lift up toward China. We'll cover that as well in this video. But this system getting better organized, it's still not there yet. But a little bit ahead of schedule. Today was the day I was looking at it, kind of see it at least see some significant strengthening. And we're starting to see that. We're starting to see where the center of this is going to be. And with that said, that's worst news for parts of the Mariana Islands. You look at the Google DeepMine, it brings the center of this potentially right over Tinian and Saipan. Again, very similar to what we saw with Sinlaku. It may be a little bit more to the south near Rota in Guam, but all of the locations I just mentioned. We need to make those preparations. We're now in action mode. And this is full preparation mode. Whatever you got, this is going to be so strong. The likelihood of this rapidly intensifying is so very high, and in a day or two, this will be the strongest storm on Earth at that time, and we're looking at those major impacts. Sunday night into Monday. So all of those preparations need to be done by Saturday afternoon. At the latest, full typhoon preparations, whatever you got throughout this thing. And again, those winds over 250 kilometers an hour, over 155 miles per hour or higher. Now maybe we get higher impacts in Guam versus Tinian, or maybe it's vice versa. We'll still see. We know how this goes. Like Sinlaku, some of us did better than others, but because this is going to be so large and so powerful, Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands making those preparations. And again, the models taking this very close to Tinian and Saipan with once again direct landfall possibility. Some of them a little bit more to the south, closer to Rota. But again, we're looking at a large and powerful system. So it's not just where the center goes. Long term, we'll keep an eye on Luzon and Taiwan as we work our way down the road. That is by the time we get into the next working week, but look how quickly this strengthens. This is about 2 days out, and we're going to see this 2-3 days out rapidly intensifying. And this could quickly become a super typhoon as it does even before it gets to the Mariana Islands. And that's why we are making those preparations, which is really hard to say in the wake of Sinlaku. This is a kind of a back-to-back worst-case scenario. Two incredibly powerful systems. Sinlaku, which we already had, and this one that is looking very similar, if not even stronger. And you see the pressure drop. All you need to see is these are the computer models. These squiggly lines, they really bottom out once we get past 3-4 days from now. That's the rapid intensification. Very, very significant drop in pressure. When you get the drop in pressure, you get the climb in the wind speed. So looking out to be a super typhoon on all accounts. That's what we're seeing again on approach to the Mariana Islands. And then after that, it could just continue to intensify as it works its way into the Philippine Sea. That's why I mentioned we'll be looking long term. Now, the area we've been watching coming out of the Philippines that'll roll up toward China with some tropical storm impact. So we'll cover that as well in this video, is this spot here kind of right below me on this screen. But it's this area right in through here, this red shading in the middle of your screen. This is the high likelihood of a powerful system to kind of give you a feel of the track. And you see these reds popping up now. 90 to 100% chance that this becomes a typhoon. And I don't think it's just going to become a typhoon. It's going to become a super typhoon with those winds that are going to be incredibly strong, damaging winds. This will be a life-threatening situation as this moves in. So again, I appreciate you just getting the word out, dropping this in group chats, letting others know it's coming, because again, I've been trying to let you know for a few days, but, attention has been paid elsewhere. Maybe since this is going to so quickly develop. So you see it here. This is based on the GFS model. This here is later today getting organized, becoming that stronger tropical storm today and tonight. And then by tomorrow, closing in on typhoon status already. This is by tomorrow evening then into Saturday. Let me stop the clock here. Saturday afternoon, you see it on approach. And that's why I mentioned all of preparations need to be done by Saturday afternoon at the latest. And this is very difficult. There's a lot of homes that have significant damage in the wake of Sinlaku. But again, a life-threatening situation wherever this goes. I'll fine-tune which islands will get the biggest impacts. But as of now, you see it for yourself. Saturday night, some of the outer rain bands working in. Sunday morning, we start to get some of that aggressive weather that will start to move in. And you see the core of this starting to get closer and moving in as we go throughout the day on Sunday. So here's Sunday, same time frame. Here we are in Guam, Rota, Tinian, and Saipan. And you see these outer bands already around Sunday morning. So Saturday night, you want to be where you need to be for this typhoon. You want to already be in place. You want to be in your safe place Saturday night because Sunday the conditions will go downhill in a hurry. Strong tropical storm impacts a possibility. Rota, Guam to go at least early on Sunday and through Sunday afternoon. But here's the core of it. You see this red in through here around the eye? That's the eye wall that, like Sinlaku, brings the incredibly damaging winds, the life-threatening conditions. And this, as according to the GFS, will bring that destructive eye wall right over Tinian and Saipan. Now this is one model, right? This is the GFS. Everything is trending a little bit more to the south. So this eye wall here, maybe it's a little bit more toward ROA and Guam at the least tropical storm impacts. If this were to hold, you'd have the typhoon impacts Tinian and Saipan with strong tropical storm impacts Rota and Guam. But the core of it through Sunday night into Monday. So again, through the day Sunday, it just gets worse. Worse weather Sunday night, very early on Monday, and then later on Monday, you see the core of this working its way into the Philippine Sea. Still the backside of this with some tropical storm impacts all the way through 1 o'clock on Monday, and then eventually Monday evening, this will be moving out as a whole, and then we'll get some of the improving conditions. But again, the possibility of the destruction in the wake of this. Now let me show you a couple of the scenarios here. Taking a look at the winds, you see the scale on the right-hand side of your screen strengthening over the next 2 to 3 days. So we've got that. Let me stop it here. This is by Saturday afternoon, and you see how strong this gets. So let me zoom down. And again, this stays to the north of Chuuk. So we're looking at the Mariana Islands here. This is Saturday by 5 p.m. We start to get some tropical storm winds. We get some strong tropical storm winds by Sunday late morning, right? And then you see these reds in here, these yellows. These are the aggressive winds. But where you see these, this is even off my chart. Look at these winds here, 250 kilometers an hour in the purple. That's 155 miles per hour. Could be even stronger. That's why I mentioned this could be the strongest system we see potentially this year, or at least to this date. But the other models, a couple strong bigger ones, have it more to the south. So heads up, Rota and Guam, this would give us a strong tropical storm conditions. But the European model is this area arrow on your screen. It brings the center of this closer to Rota. That would bring major impacts to Guam and ROA if the European model is right. The GFS has this over Saipan and Tinian with major impacts. Either way, at least a couple of the islands are going to get a significant major impacts as this moves by. But again, all of this may be more down to the south. But the worst weather late on Sunday, Sunday night, first half of Monday, then Monday afternoon, starting to move away. So it's just going to be fine-tuning. Does this come closer to Rota, closer to Guam, or is this a little bit more Tinian and Saipan? Either way, all of the islands right in through here are going to be feeling some impacts, be a strong tropical storm impacts or destructive typhoon impacts. Now, in the bigger picture, you can see this tropical system over here, and you keep an eye on Guam and the northern Mariana Islands right through here as we go out in time. This here is today into tomorrow. This is tomorrow. Most of the heaviest rain has cleared the Philippines. Still, we're going to have some areas of rain, but you see the tropical storm impacts kind of working their way up toward parts of China, right in through here on Saturday and then catching your eye. Well, we'll have some scattered showers, Visayas and Mindanao. What's going on over here now? Watch what happens as this moves in on Sunday into Monday. This is the big picture. So Taiwan, Philippines, Japan, even China, all watching this very carefully. What happens? There are the major impacts late Sunday into early Monday through the Mariana Islands, and then this rolls into the Philippine Sea. Now, if it comes in a little bit more to the north near Saipan, that may help it curve a little bit as it approaches Luzon. But if it takes more of this southerly track, like the European model closer to Guam and Rota, that could be a closer approach to the Philippines. We'll see. There's going to be a front also sitting back toward China that may eventually turn this, but it's a matter of when it makes its turn. Yap and plow. It looks like most of this activity will be staying up to the north, but we could see some kind of backside tropical storm gust at times if we get some banding rains elsewhere. You can see here's the tropical system coming out of the Philippines. This other one here's Guam way over here. Couple big pockets of rain, parts of India, back toward the Bay of Bengal. Meanwhile, Thailand, Bangladesh, we've had that rain picking up, but not seeing development as of yet. So just monitoring this tomorrow right into Saturday. Bay of Bengal, we may get something trying to spin up Sunday into early next week. We'll be watching that. But all eyes will be on this tropical system here over toward China, and then what's going on back toward, of course, Guam and the northern Mariana Islands. That's where we're going to get intense rain wherever this goes. Over 250 millimeters of rain, about 30 centimeters of rain will be a potential. So 10 to maybe upwards of 18 inches of rain once this moves in, be it Guam, be it Saipan. We'll see how this shakes out over the next day or so, and I'll be able to fine-tune that further if you're subscribed. You'll get those notifications for the next video. There's the heavier rain, just kind of shifting, still parts of Visayas, some higher totals. Mindanao over toward Davao. We could have a couple total 75 to 100 millimeters of rain the next couple days around the NCR, not as much. Leading edge of your screen here, there's the big chunk of rain that is going to be approaching once we get into Sunday and Monday with this Super Typhoon that will be approaching. Here's that moisture from this tropical system lifting up toward China. Some of the totals anywhere from 100 to 200 millimeters of rain as that moves in. So some of the extra rain around, and we'll see that as well as it works up toward the north, kind of merging with this front. Taiwan, some scattered areas of rain, parts of Japan, Honshu in particular, Kyushu, Shikoku, central sections of Honshu South. That's where we'll have some totals over 100 millimeters over the next 3 days. And you see these bigger areas, parts of India, and then over toward parts of Myanmar, even parts of Thailand and Vietnam, Laos. We're going to see a lot of totals over 100 millimeters of rain just over the next few days. So, a major system moving in. A super typhoon is forming. This is a major threat for Guam and the northern Mariana Islands. Full preparation mode, we are in action mode. Do whatever it takes to stay safe for this typhoon. It is going to be rapidly strengthening as it moves closer. There will be changes to come. Maybe lesser impacts for some, more for others. But at this point, because it is going to be so large and so powerful, safety first, make those preparations. Get the word out, and I know you guys are looking out for each other. So, more updates to come. Please be safe. Action mode. Get those preparations done. Guam and the northern Mariana Islands.